On Wednesday, October 20th, Kevin Bracken put the cat among the pigeons when he told John Fain on an Australian Broadcasting Commission radio chat show that he was among the growing number of people in Australia, and indeed the world, who do not believe the official 9/11 story.
I sent out an email last night in relation to the debate on Afghanistan, is that what we should be doing is calling for a proper investigation into the events of September 11, that there's so many unanswered questions, and that the official story doesn't stand up to scientific scrutiny.
Hello?
Yeah, yes, mate, sorry.
What's your surname?
Kevin Bracken,
From the...
Victorian Branch Secretary of the Maritime Union and the President of the Victorian Trades Hall Council.
And are you a believer in the conspiracy theories about the collapse of the World Trade Center?
Well, I believe that the official story is a conspiracy theory that doesn't stand up to scientific scrutiny.
Are you serious?
It needs to be
Is this a hoax, or are you serious?
Sorry to interrupt, but please take note of the way that the host of this publicly funded program treats a guest who has a genuine concern.
No, and I'd love to debate you on it publicly, John, if you'd like. And if you think it's ridiculous,
there's nothing to debate,
challenge it
Kevin.
to a public to debate.
There's nothing to debate.
The fact is that aviation fuel doesn't get hot enough to melt steel, and no high-rise steel frame building before or after September 11 has ever collapsed.
So,
into fire.
Kevin, what...
Quite apart from his rude interruption, John Fain's next question is irrelevant, because Kevin Bracken was trying to make a point about the science of the offence, not who may have been responsible.
Kevin, which version of the conspiracy theories do you subscribe to for the alternative?
Well,
are you saying that the Israelis engineered it, or do you believe that there's the Bilderberg group, or which version of the Nutter conspiracies is the one you subscribe to?
No, I stick to scientific facts.
Yeah, go on, but which one?
And the facts are that aviation fuel doesn't get hot enough to melt steel.
So what did happen that day? In your mind, what did happen on that day?
In my mind, the buildings were imploded.
And instead of addressing the issues, John Fain indulges in an unwarranted ad hominem attack.
And you're the Secretary of the Maritime Union, and you're on the Trades Hall Council Executive.
I'm the President of the Victorian Trades Hall Council, and we've taken resolutions from both.
I think it reflects very poorly on your members, Kevin, that you have views that are so ridiculous, so extreme and so unacceptable, and yet you hold office in some of our unions in Victoria.
I'd love to, if it's so ridiculous, John, I'd challenge you to debate me
unequivocally. Unequivocally, I'm astonished, because this is the lunatic fringe, this is the extreme right or the loony left coming together round the back of the shed to believe in absurd nonsense, and you ought to be in a position to see it for what it is, but you don't.
And the trouble is, mate, blokes like you are keeping most of the people in the dark in this country.
Yeah, well, that's like the Tea Party rubbish too.
Why don't you debate me on it, John?
I'm happy to. Go on, whatever ridiculous... I get these emails kind of 2 or 3 a day, and quite frankly...
So, by his own admission, this isn't new to Mr. Fain, but he still has not addressed one point that Mr. Bracken has raised. But listen to the tone of his voice.
I really find it disturbing that people are prepared to believe this nonsense.
Go back and
looking for an excuse to believe it in order to think that the world is a grand conspiracy.
No, but the world is a different place to the picture that you're painting it, John.
Is that right?
That's right.
Okay.
And as I said, I'm happy to debate you, and I look forward to where you'd like to debate.
That's like asking people to debate whether or not the Earth is flat, Kevin. Well, you want to have a debate about that too?
Another comment which says far more about John Fain than all the rest of his insults put together.
No, I want to debate what happened on September 11. Is the official story, does it stand up to scrutiny or not? And the official story doesn't stand up to scrutiny.
Who killed JFK?
I'm not asking that, mate. I'm just talking. You stick to the facts, will you? Don't rub off and try and run somewhere else. I mean, the thing is that after September 11, the world changed dramatically. Our system of law has changed. We're at 2 wars now because of September 11, and we've had attacks on our own civil liberties that we would not have copped had those events not happened.
And Kevin, what about, did people ever make it to the moon, or was that all filmed in the back blocks of Nevada?
I don't know about anyone else, but my admiration for Kevin Bracken's good manners rises in inverse proportion to the distaste I feel for John Fain's overbearing rudeness every time he opens his mouth.
Don't try and get away from it, John. I'm talking. Let's stick to the facts. Those 3 buildings fell at free fall speed, and the World Trade Center 7 wasn't even hit by a building. It collapsed in the afternoon, and it fell. It was told it was fell 5 minutes before, by the BBC 5 minutes before it actually fell.
Kevin, if I
Don't you
had
think we
family
should have
who
a look
died,
at-
if I had family
Yeah.
who died on that day or in a related incident, I would be so angry that you even got to air. I'd be
Well,
offended. I'd be.
there were families of 300 people who died that day who have called for an inquiry into it as well.
Yeah,
as a
that's
matter
right.
of fact, most people in New York don't even believe the official story.
That's right. You've
There's
asked them
blokes
all,
like
have you?
Who keep us in the dark in
You've
Australia.
asked everyone in New York whether they believe or not?
There's been polls conducted, and I can give you those figures, John.
Yeah, right,
The-
okay.
The majority of people
Kevin, I
don't
think
believe the official story.
We've spent a lot of time on it. I need to move on.
I look forward to our debate, John.
There's nothing to debate, Kevin. Nothing at
You're
all.
too scared to do it, mate.
No, not too
You're
scared.
too scared.
I've got things that need to be looked into that got some credibility as opposed to this
The
one.
biggest event that changed the world, our legal system in this country, and where we're at war. Can you tell me why our troops are at war in Afghanistan? What are they doing there? You tell me, John.
Thank you, Kevin.
We've been there for 9 years, and we're just having a debate on it now. And people like you are keeping people in this country in the dark.
I'm part of it all.
I'd like to enlighten people. Instead of cursing the darkness, we should light a candle, and we should go back and have a look at the events of September 11.
Good on you,
And
Kevin.
you're too scared to debate me on it.
And that apparently is how the exchange ended. However, there is another telephone exchange which appears to have been instigated by John Fain, in which he is speaking to Trades Hall Secretary Brian Boyd.
He invoked the name of the Trades Hall and his position on your, I think, executive, is that right?
Either Fain doesn't know what the word invoked means, or he was lying. Listen to the opening of the interview. Kevin Bracken gives his name, and when prompted to do so by Fain, the positions he holds. He did not invoke the name of his union or the Trades Hall. He was clearly speaking as a private individual.
Kevin's our president at the moment, as secretary of the MUA. But
Are you comfortable having a president of the Victorian Trades Hall who has extremist views that are, personally, I find offensive and alarming, but are just generally wacky?
John Fain was indulging in what we used to call at school in Australia, dobbing someone in, telling tales about them. But this pompous, opinionated individual who seems to have forgotten about the right to free speech, for others that is, has shot himself in the foot, because Fain's own radio station poll on the issue makes it quite clear that a whacking majority of responders, 76% of them, agree with Kevin Bracken, and fewer than 25% with John Fain. So Fain is outnumbered, not only on his own turf, but yes, even in New York. And there is a growing call worldwide for a new investigation by many organizations, some of which actually do the science. The science which Kevin Bracken was attempting to explain to him, but which John Fain refused, point blank, to discuss.
I look forward to our debate, John.
There's nothing to debate, Kevin. Nothing at all.
I really haven't got much to say about John Fain, except that I suspect his agenda doesn't have a lot to do with Australia's security. But I'd now like to revert to the accent that my dear mother spent so many years trying to tone down. So here goes. Good on ya, Kev. You're a bonza bloke and a real credit to the old country. You're a fair dinkum Aussie, and you've got my vote any day. And talking of votes, I hope that all decent Aussies will write to their federal Prime Minister today and demand that Kevin Bracken's statements be taken seriously and not dismissed out of hand. Demand that Australia's elected government puts Australian interests first. This should reach her.